So welcome to today's webinar. We have been really looking forward to your joining us. And today the big day is here. The webinar topic is leveraging smartQED in the war room from the perspective of an incident commander. So we are really grateful for your presence and for taking the time out from your busy schedules to attend our call. So let's move on. We'll quickly introduce the speakers. Ron, do you want to do that?
Yes, it'll be my pleasure. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all the participants and all my colleagues over here. Thanks a lot for taking out your time from your busy schedules to attend this event. We feel very highly privileged to have all of you with us today. I'm Ron Spencer from smartQED, and I have the honor of introducing the speakers today. So please welcome Julie Basu and Terry Gallagher, the founders of smartQED. Like all of you, both of them have a lot of experience in problem investigations and root cause analysis. And today they'll share their insights with us today. And we also have, Mr. Sangeet Mal with us, who is our AI and ML champion and a data scientist. With this, Julie, I would request you to take over and start the presentation.
Right, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Ron. Let's get started. Today's agenda is, what is the role of an incident commander? What are the challenges they face in war rooms? So given that, the majority of the attendees here are already incident managers, probably it is preaching to the choir, but we would like to actually connect with you and understand whether, what are the challenges, you're recently facing. Have things changed after the pandemic? Has it become more stressful, less stressful with virtual teams, etc.? So we have an interaction process here. So we would really not be like a one-way learning, but we would love to learn from you as well about the challenges that you face in war rooms, right? And the third topic is a very near and dear to our hearts. Terry and I have been working on smartQED for a number of years. How did we build smartQED to solve these challenges? And we believe that it can actually help with the pressures of incident management, especially for commanders. And so then we will open it up for live Q&A. But the main goal is to understand, communicate, our view of the incident management role, and also understand from you what are the challenges you face. So what does an incident commander actually do? They manage the resolution of incidents. So this brings us to the incident management process, which is has a number of steps to it. Terry, do you want to maybe just quickly summarize where the incident commander is involved?
Sure. Incident commanders are engaged for major incidents, P1, severity 1, critical incidents. In this particular process here, the first 4 steps typically happen very quickly or automated. And then once a severity 1 incident is declared, a incident commander is assigned, and they are the one that basically facilitates and orchestrates restoring service as quickly as possible. The investigate and analyze is basically assessing the condition of the service, what's known, what's not known, ultimately to find a cause. Resolution, is your plan to restore that service. Recovery is executing that plan and monitoring it, ensuring that the service is indeed recovered. And then the closure of the incidents may sound like not a lot of work, but if you're an incident manager or a commander, that's where a lot of the work starts. So ensuring that the course of the incident, the actions taken, who participated, the findings, the timeline, et cetera, is properly documented, is key to putting together a good major incident report, which you take back to your stakeholders, ultimately to give them some assurance that you understood what happened, and ideally that you are going to put a fix in place that will prevent further outages.
Exactly. So closure is not a simple step. And I'm sure, a lot of you are familiar with this already. Let's move on then. What are the responsibilities and the tasks that are expected of an incident commander during the incident, after the incident even? So first is the strategy. So let's say a major incident starts up, an e-commerce website is down. It's a major incident, customers affected, orders stalled. What are we going to do? So the strategy is very important. It's the starting point. Assignment. So there is typically a team that is responding to the incident. So you will need to assign out the tasks, who is going to work on it, coordination, when, because sometimes things are not all at once, but in sequence. Maybe we check first the network, then we check the database, and after that, maybe we check the applications in parallel, etc. So some of these have to be coordinated. So the when is typically decided by the incident commander. And of course, they are also in charge of the communication. What is it that you're going to say to your executives, even customers? So both external and internal communication is often the responsibility of the commander. So what does a commander not do? The list of things that we saw that they do is very serious. It's a lot of responsibility, but they are not expected to investigate. For example, you're not expected to dig deep into a log and start checking for exceptions. Execute the actions, actually restart a server. Not expected of an incident commander. Also to do a research, for example, like, can I find a fix? Has this problem been seen before? What shall we do? What did we do then? So that is research, and that is not the job of an incident commander. The job is to delegate, evaluate, plan, and decide. Now, these are very serious and heavyweight tasks. So decision making is a very important, of course. And here I want to make a point that the decisions, hindsight is always 20/20. After the incident is over, you can think, oh, we should have done that instead of this. However, you make the decisions with the information that you have at that time. Yeah. So I hope, people don't beat themselves up on hindsight that, oh, we should have done this. It's always 20/20. You try to gather the best information you can at that time, evaluate it, plan out what are we going to do given this information that we have, and then we assign and delegate and then coordinate the tasks. And this is typically a loop that goes on for an hour or more, however long your incident lasts. So the skills involved are collaboration, planning, risk assessments. Are we going to reboot the server, or are we going to roll back the changes? So these are kind of, tasks that come with their own risks, different kinds of risks, and an incident commander typically has to be skills at kind of weighing the different options. Yeah, we can go down path A, path B. Which one shall we take? And like I said, you can make a wrong decision. That's absolutely perfect. It's the best decision you could make at the time, given what you knew. So the decision-making aspect is very important. As Terry likes to say, incident managers are facilitators. You're commanding the situation. They're not supposed to be subject matter experts. Yeah. So typically deep technical expertise, what is the config parameters? What does this do? It's not required of an incident commander. They are managing the incident as a whole, managing the team during the duration of an incident. Terry, do you have something to add here?
I would just say, the general tasks and skills of an incident commander revolve around ultimately ensuring that the resolution to restoring service is moving forward, helping to facilitate the assessment of the health of the service, what's known, what's not known, understanding the impact, whether it's revenue impact, reputational impact, internal, external, a particular team or a region, ensuring that you gather the proper information ultimately to put together a good plan of attack. Sometimes the plan of attack also comes down to, do you need to get all hands on deck out of the gate, or do you have a sense of where the problem is, where you can pull together a handful of SMEs and at least make an initial assessment before you pull everybody in?
Right. The all hands on deck scenario. Right. Yeah. So please share your tasks, especially the ones that you find challenging as incident commanders. Yeah. We are monitoring the chat, and Ron will, summarize the learnings for us at the end. You can contact us offline, info@smartQED. You can connect with our LinkedIn company page. Ron is going to post that on chat as well. So main challenges faced by incident commanders in war rooms. So war rooms are typically, pressure cooker situations. That's Terry's terminology. It is high pressure from time aspect. So typically you have like an hour or less to resolve a major incident. It's also the case that you may have to wake up people at 3 o'clock and nobody's happy. So you have a stressed out team and you have to maintain your cool. Yeah, so it is a tough job, I think. And the main challenges that we have faced is that where are we going to start? Let's say the website is down. Is it a ransomware attack? Is it some other kind of attack? Is it my database was upgraded and did it crash? So the starting point is very important because time is so critical. And one of the main questions here is, has this incident been seen and resolved before? Maybe 3 months before, earlier we actually saw a customer that had a similar incident. So what did we do at that time? However, remember that it's not the incident commander's job to go and start researching all the prior incidents, and time is very limited. But however, this is a big challenge. Where shall we start? Right. And we will get Terry's perspective on each of these aspects. Just to go through the list, unclear status is a very big issue. Now, let's say you have 10 people that are on a Slack room or a Teams chat, and they are communicating with you as the incident commander and saying, oh, I checked out the database. I figured out, the network is not a problem. I figured out this is not related to ransomware. I double check that there's been no, updates to the application config. So status information is coming in and it kind of gets accumulated and assembled in everybody's head. So oftentimes, it becomes unclear, what did that person say, where exactly, what is exactly the status of this aspect of the problem, right? So I like to think that text is actually the enemy of clarity. The more you write, the more unclear actually it becomes sometimes. And everybody on the team has to read it. And it's not necessarily that they're all getting clarity on what's going on. In fact, the longer the chat messages, the more difficult it is to understand where are we exactly. Did we clear this? Is that out? Is this implicated, right? So this the clarity aspect is very, very important. And then last but not the least, the reporting and the communication aspect. Yeah. So you have to communicate with your team. You have to communicate with the executives, and also after the incident is closed, right? So like Terry mentioned, there is a process of closing down an incident. There is reporting typically required. Why did this happen? Why will it not happen again? How are we going to prevent it? A lot of this is part of the incident commander's domain. You can delegate it to somebody else, like the reporting aspect could be given to a scribe, for example. However, typically, these are all challenges that are in the incident commander's domain of responsibility. Terry, would you like to add from your, extensive experience with this kind of situations?
Sure, I'll just boil it down a little bit. Ultimately, incident commander's challenge is keeping people calm, projecting confidence in the incident commander that he or she is in command of the situation, keeping communication flowing, having people follow communication etiquette. The proverbial shared vision is always difficult, especially in the text-based world. Obviously, status goes out in intervals and needs to be wordsmithed and goes to different audiences. You have business stakeholders, you potentially have external customers, you have the technical team. So communicating via text is laborious and not always timely.
Yes, exactly. And the issue is, Terry, that what we have faced is as time goes on, the text actually gets longer and longer and harder to assimilate. Yeah. So rather than getting clearer and clearer, sometimes it gets more obscure. And if somebody joins the team a bit later in the incident, then those people especially have a hard time figuring out what has been tried, what exactly are we trying to do next.
Right, and what is relevant at this moment. Early on, you have several people checking out their areas of responsibility, commenting, their findings, and slogging through all that is just wasted effort. If you can go straight to the relevant items without having to slog through the rest, that's much more efficient.
Exactly. So I am sure people have lots of thoughts in their minds. We would love to know the challenges that you have faced as incident commander. Like if we were to tell us like what is your top 2 challenges, right? Like maybe communicating with the team or with the executives, or you're interrupted by executives, it does happen. Your manager might come down and say, tell me what's going on. And then you have to take time out from the incident and explain to the stakeholders what exactly has been going on, what's been tried, what's next, etc. So I think this aspect of communication is an important part because it does take up time to communicate effectively and crisply during this high pressure situation. So please share on chat. Is it communication? Is it the strategy? Is it the the reporting? Is it the assignment? And who shall we call? Is it all hands on deck, etc. So Ron is going to post links on our solution to these challenges. We would love to get your feedback on what you think of our solution, because we come from the same backgrounds and we try to resolve with smartQED, the challenges that we faced in our work. Yeah, kind of what we're discussing right now. Okay, so with that, I move on to the next section. And then after that, we'll open it up to the question answer session. What is smartQED? How does it help incident commanders? Right. So the primary insight that Terry and I had when we started this company is that writing texts and communicating, verbally or orally is really not very helpful to put everybody on the same page. Yeah, just like if you were flying a helicopter or a plane, you wouldn't do it without a map, or even driving. So likewise, we need a map. Yeah, so that everybody gets on the same page. Where are we? I should be able to look at the map and just tell you, oh, we have, cleared a database thing. This is green, this is red, right? So what has been implicated? What are the notes in context? So it would give you some structure to follow. And additionally, we bring in the notion of templates. Can we predefine this structure? So we don't have to start at the time of the incident. Where shall we start? Right? So that is typically that starting point is where shall we start? So templates would be a predefined map that would give you that starting point. May not be perfect. And with the machine learning and the recommendations, you can actually refine that template depending on the prior problem history. Yeah. So I don't want to go too deep into what smartQED does. You can always contact Ron for a detailed demo. We are always happy to chat and get your feedback. So let's see, how does it actually help in war rooms? So first of all, it gives it the structure, which means you can lay out the causes and sub-causes, visualize the strategy, explore to any depth. We have nested fishbones. If people recognize this structure, it's the fishbone structure, but we have made it real-time, collaborative, as well as self-learning. So this is Fishbone Plus. So it lets you visualize the strategy and use templates to jumpstart investigations. then you can actually take any cause and subcause and in real time, assign it to somebody. Let's say I assign something to Ron and I have to say, oh, you have 5 minutes to look at this. So deadline, give him a deadline. And then when he's done, he updates the status on the map. So the map itself is like kind of like Google Docs. It's a collaborative thing that comes together as people work on different bits and pieces of it. And as the commander, you need to have the clarity. What did Ron say at the end of the investigation? So we basically let people set due dates per cause. So everything is in context. So database has 10 minutes to be checked. And then at the end of 10 minutes, hopefully the DBA will be updating that part of the map. And then we can all look at it, be on the same page. So easily see the investigation status through colors. Yeah, we like to say status at a glance because we really don't have time to read a paragraph of text that somebody's written. Is it a go or a no-go? Yes or a no? Yeah. So if you read a lot about the incident commander tasks, one of the challenges they suffer from is people are not very clear. Is it a yes or a no? They'll say, oh, well, maybe this, maybe that. Well, as a commander, you need to have clarity, and it's typically, okay, some amount of uncertainty is expected, but it cannot be like a maybe or I don't know. So that kind of clarity can come on the map quite easily because they have to classify. Is it cleared, not cleared? Maybe, I don't, with a certain, probability, maybe their best guess is that it's not at fault, right? So actions tracking. So let's say I am the DBA and I decide, well, it could be something in the database. So I'm going to, change a config parameter or roll back an upgrade, whatever it is. Different people are taking different actions on the system, time bound, of course, time boxed. And this actions tracking and reporting is a significant part of the incident commander's job, right? And rather than glean it from all this stream of chat text that is passing by, it's better to get an actions timeline. So we provide a way for people to enter actions and say, this has been completed, in progress, in 5 minutes, done. And so the incident commander can actually look at the overall timeline and make those decisions. Yeah, so this
it's also being reported in real time. One of the challenges with putting together a postmortem or a major incident report is oftentimes you're going in after the fact trying to reconstruct what happened and details are missing, and it's not fun. This helps a lot, recording the details in real time. And they're segmented as well, so you don't have to look at things that aren't relevant.
Exactly. But without the structure, Terry, I mean, the critical piece is the visual map, right? Without the structure, you cannot get the clarity of the different pieces that are involved, and you cannot get the control as a manager to say, okay, this is the path, or this is what we shall do, and this has been done. So the reporting part can be automated if people put in their information on this map instead of in chat text that has to be read and reread by everybody. Put it on the map, and then everything is available in context. And so the structure gives the clarity, and then the clarity leads to the control, which is essential for incident commanders. So benefits, faster resolutions, efficient collaboration, higher productivity, because if nothing else, we are saving people from reading, a stream of text and rereading it. Oh, what did they say? It's very clear on the map. And then last but not the least is augmented intelligence, where we try to provide the team with a good starting point based on prior history. Yeah. So this part is a integrated part of smartQED, and we believe it's of extreme value, and it's actually a lot of thought and effort has gone into this. I'm sure Terry would like to elaborate. Terry, would you like to say a few words about how augmented intelligence and AI ML can help us in this situation?
Well, certainly, and of course, AI has been way overused and way overpromised. So a lot of people just kind of roll their eyes when they hear that. So we tried to do an implementation, or we did do an implementation that's really more augmenting intelligence using AI ML techniques, but also keeping the human being in the loop here to sort of guide the resolution as things unfold. So it's a hybrid approach. Ultimately, what we do is we ingest information that can be a symptom that basically gives a signature of a problem, very similar to a virus signature. And using that signature, we can go into our case database and find similar problems that have happened in the past. And if not pinpoint a root cause and suggest a resolution, we can definitely, as I like to say, shine a spotlight in the haystack and say the needle is most likely in here. Look here first. So that, just saves a lot of additional work. Like I said, all hands on deck, checking everything out. So it just sort of helps focus where you look for the root cause and so forth.
Right. Right. So we are kind of, towards the end of the webinar. I would like to open it up to live Q&A. I know that other people are on the call. Thank you so much for taking the time. So to learn more on what, Terry and I have designed, you can watch our other webinars on YouTube channel, including detailed demos. You can check out our free templates. We have tried to create a community with free templates that you can use to jumpstart your problem solving. Community.smartqed.ai. Ron will be posting these links on chat. You can test drive our app. It's free. You can try our new Slack bot. This is our latest and greatest piece to our solution. From a Slack team, you can actually talk to smartQED and build up this map and communicate with the map. Book a demo at smartqed.ai. Okay, so with that, we open up to Q&A.